In this video, I'm going to do several unboxings of all the components that I'm going to put into my home theater PC to upgrade it. So let's get to it. Okay, so in this package is my Blu-Ray / HDDVD drive. And I got it from eBay secondhand because pretty much that's the only way you can get those things anymore. They don't sell HDDVD players anymore or drives. And I got it for around $55 shipped. And that's actually a good price for a Blu-ray drive. And I'm really not going to be using this all that much as a Blu-ray player, and maybe if I'm able to get some sort of software that will play HD DVDs. I'm not going to use it for that too much, but I like to have the availability in my home theater PC. So this is a good upgrade. Again, only about $55 shipped. So let's get this thing open here. So there we go. As you can see, it's an LG Super Multi Blue. And if you know anything about high definition disc formats, you know that they use a blue laser as opposed to a red laser that's used on DVD players and drives. Even HDDVD uses a blue laser. There's light scribe technology in here. Obviously, we'll do regular DVDs, and it's in pretty good condition for a used drive. Again, if you paid any attention to the case on the computer there, pretty much everything is hidden behind a little door there, so you're never really going to see this. But you know, hopefully everything works as they said it would, and it is a SATA drive back here, obviously. So interestingly enough, side note, you know, even when HDDVD was out, it was very difficult to find software that would play HD DVDs on a computer. So really the only software that I've tracked down, there's several, I think there's 3, maybe 4 actual pieces of software that will play HD DVDs, but they're very hard to get a hold of nowadays. There's only specific versions of software. 2 of the ones that I'm trying to track down are Power DVD 7.3, version 7.3 Ultra is one of the only ones that will play HD DVD, and then Total Media Theater. And both of those pieces of software, well, Total Media Theater has been discontinued altogether, and Power DVD, I believe, is on either version 13 or 14 right now, and they took out support for HD DVD when HD DVD died. So hopefully I'll be able to track down the software somehow, but at the end of the day, this is a Blu-ray drive as well, and it's a very inexpensive Blu-ray player at that. So that is the drive, the Blu-ray drive I'm going to be putting in there. So let me just put that to the side. Okay, in here is the replacement antenna, and I think it's actually about twice as long as the original one, but we'll see when we get this thing open here. This I also got off of eBay, and it only cost me, I think, about $5 or $6 shipped, maybe even less. So there we go. It's actually brand new. So it is considerably bigger than the previous antenna. Not quite twice as big, but almost. And this is for routers generally, but an antenna is an antenna, so it does bend here. So as you can see there, we'll get it out of the actual packaging when it's time to put it on the machine. Now in here, I ordered this from Newegg, and this is a pricey upgrade, but I really thought it was worth the expenditure, because I do use my home theater PC a lot, and I do want to actually expand what I'm going to be doing with my home theater PC. So I'm going to start using Plex to serve up my music. Up until now, you know, when I first got into music, obviously, you know, there are different formats, but in the music that I kept, you know, I first got into music with CDs, and then I transferred everything over to my computer and used everything digitally, and I was using iTunes for the longest time. And, you know, I'm not too happy with the way Apple has treated iTunes. If you've been following some of the court cases where they actually removed some songs from iTunes if you didn't purchase those songs through Apple, and that was a couple of years ago. I don't know if they do that still, but they stood behind the decision, and that really didn't make me very confident in keeping my music. on iTunes. So I'm going to be moving everything over to Plex, all my music. And, you know, I did want a high capacity hard drive. I wanted a hard drive that I wouldn't have to upgrade or update at any later time. I could have gone with a 3 terabyte, a 4 terabyte hard drive, but I went with a 6 terabyte Western Digital Purple. It was kind of pricey. It was $300 for that drive alone. But I did want to treat myself to that because I think it's going to be money well spent for the long term. It will be the hard drive I'm going to be using to store all my media for some time to come. And being that this is a DVR, it's nice to have the extra hard drive space. Also in here is Windows version 8.1 Pro. And you need to have the Pro version if you want to use Windows Media Center, which is what I'm going to be doing, obviously, on this. And that was $189.99. So the total on this alone here was $489.98. But I thought it was worth it, and so I pulled the trigger on it. So all these upgrades are going to be about $500 upgrades, a little over $500, about $530, $540 onto this DVR here. You could do it for less money, but again, I did want to go with a high-capacity drive. So let me grab my trusty cutter here, and let's get this box open. So you get some inserts from Newegg. Newegg and Tiger Direct are a great place to buy computer components. Also, Amazon nowadays. So here we go, Windows 8.1 Pro. Now, if you've been following the tech news, you know that Windows 10 is coming out on July 29th. So anybody who has a Windows 7 PC or a Windows 8 PC will get the upgrade to Windows 10 absolutely free. So why would I be, at this stage in the game, upgrading from Windows 7 to Windows 8.1? Well, Windows 8.1, if you get Windows 8.1 Pro like I have here, is the last Windows operating system that supports Windows Media Center. And in my situation on this PC, I'm using Windows Media Center as my DVR. So it will be the most up-to-date version of Windows Media Center, even though pretty much it's the same as Windows 7. But the reason I went with Windows 8 is because I think it has a more couch-friendly interface. If you use the Start Screen menu as your main interface and not the desktop, it's going to be a little more couch-friendly because you have the tiles there, you can use a remote with it, and it's a little bit better than having a desktop on your television set. Because when you have a desktop on your television set, the way this computer is running right now, my home theater PC, it's, you have to blow things up, blow the icons up just so you can see them a little bit better and use the keyboard with it. It's just, Windows 8 is just, like I said, the tile menu or the start menu. In my opinion, it just works better for the couch interface. So that's the reason I'm upgrading to Windows 8.1. Now here is the hard drive. Nicely packaged, and I'm glad because there was a little bit of damage on the corner here. And you always have to be careful with hard drives. And what do we have down here? Now this was actually purchased before Christmas. I'm filming this after Christmas. Haven't had a lot of time to do the updates on my computer, but gives you a little catalog here for holiday 2014, which has passed. But I don't need to spend any more money anyway, so that's fine. I'm good for a while on buying things. So let's get this thing open here. So here we go. Western Digital Purple 6 terabyte hard drive. Now the Purple, if you follow Western Digital drives, I don't know if anybody follows them per se, but if you're familiar with Western Digital drives, they have different color codes for the drives and what they're good for. They have red, they have green, they have black, they have blue, and now they have purple. Purple's is a newer version. And the thing about Purple is that it's good for surveillance. So you would put this in a DVR scenario for security cameras. And the benefit of it is that it writes very efficiently, so it's quick, so you don't lose any frames or anything like that. And it's good to overwrite a lot, because that's what you would do with surveillance cameras and surveillance systems. So I figure, being a DVR, it's going to be very similar for, you know, a television DVR, is going to have similar needs as a surveillance system, although a surveillance system is a little bit more intensive. So I don't think I'm going to be putting this drive through its paces. That's why I chose it. Plus the capacity on it. And Western Digital is one of the most reliable drive companies that you can use. So I try and stick with Western Digital when I can, although not all my drives are Western Digital. So that is the hard drive that is going to go into the system. So we have all the components. Might as well get them installed. So here is the cage here. I didn't pull anything out yet. And I think there's 6 screws I'm going to have to remove. So let me do that now.